Are you ready for a monstrous good time this Halloween? With the help of some creative friends, I'll show you step by step how to build the scariest, the most imaginative, and actually affordable haunted house right at home. It'll be a scream!
Sorry, it smells like a locker room in there. It smells bad in there. It's not good.
Come on in. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to show you step by step how to transform a room, a garage, a hallway, an entranceway into the haunted house of your nightmares. And with me, we have Anduin and Aaron and Kristen and Dr. Figgy and many other wonderfully talented people who have that evil spirit on All Hallows Eve. Looks good. Leonard Pickle is I like to call him the master of the haunt. Leonard, you've built how many haunted houses?
I've built over 100 haunted houses in my 30-year career.
Why?
Well, scaring people's fun. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
And where have these haunted houses appeared?
All over the country. We did one in Madison Square Garden. We've done stuff for Universal Studios before, amusement parks around the country.
How does this compare? Our modest little suburban haunted house.
You know, for the size and for the budget, you did very well. I mean, the sets are beautiful, the lighting is great, and we're going to do some sound and lighting stuff later.
And you really want to scare people.
You do.
But you don't want to have them die of fright, right?
No, and I like to throw in some humor in the middle of the haunted house to bring them down to a lower level so that then we can build them back up to the scare. It's much more effective that way.
Yeah, it really is. So you're just finishing off our entrance
Right, yeah, we're putting up some Spanish moss and some ivy. And one of the things that we start off with when I design haunted houses is with a storyline. A house cannot be haunted unless it has a history, so we're really big about creating a storyline. Kind of gives you a map to show you where you're going and where you're going to end up. Make sure that you get there without veering off.
What are 3 things a haunted house must have?
Great sets, great actors and costuming, and innovative design, coming up with new ideas, creative storyline. The other thing that I always try to put in is, why are we going into this scary space? We know there's monsters in there, why are we going in there? And add that to the storyline to give them a reason to be going into the haunted house.
So I think we're trying to do all of that.
You are?
And I want people to be really frightened, but I want them to afterwards say, that was fun.
Fun terror.
Following Leonard's suggestions, my team and I decided to use a B-movie horror theme for our haunted house. We divided the haunt into sections: the voodoo shanty, a mad scientist lab, and a haunted maze composed of a hallway of horrors, a creepy corridor, and finally a mineshaft. Outside the haunt, we are turning the yard of my guest house into a festive party area complete with treats and games. Along the exterior of the lawns, we're planning dramatic decorations, including tiki torches lighting the path, a graveyard, spooky sculptures, and giant pumpkin monsters. So as you can see, the walls are going up in our garage. We're dividing the space into places like the hallway of horrors.
Yeah,
right,
this
Aaron?
is the real freaky deaky part.
And you know, I'm standing on foam rubber with fire retardant plastic, which you can find easily, and PVC pipe, which is available at places like the Home Depot. You can tape it together, screw it together.
They cut really easily.
And this is somebody's blood coursing through this tube.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's really easy to freak people out, actually. Confined spaces. We got a few mannequin parts from a junk shop.
And then you painted and sprayed it. The more gruesome, the better in a haunted house. And where'd you get the eyeballs?
Now, these are just from Oriental trading, these sticky eyeballs. They feel horrible.
Horrible.
And then this is just some jute twine threaded through with red paint rubbed onto it, let it dry.
See. Excellent.
And these will, you know, grab on people's hair and shirts as they walk through, but they won't hurt.
Jello, just red Jello and rubber gloves. You just put this over the
and then jump it down.
Shake the Jello into the glove so it fills all the fingers.
So I'm gonna just cable tie it and catch another one in there so I have a loop. And then you want one more to hang with.
One more. Walking through the hallway of horrors, you're gonna bang your head on these things and not feel very good.
And these longer guys, you
Yes.
know, we don't want anyone to lose an eye, but we trim these little ends so that they don't hurt anybody. So then this drapes down.
Make sure it's sturdy, make sure it's not going to fall down on anybody.
Correct. Everything's linked and we've shaken it. We've made sure no one's going to get hurt in it. And then this part, the red paint, it'll take about a couple hours to dry. So you want to make sure you do it ahead of time. But we're doing it on the outside, so, it's horrible.
So that's blood of newt.
There's death everywhere.
The more gruesome, the
Yeah.
better. And now from the hallway of horrors to the corridor of creepy creatures.
Yes.
And this is just pallets and 2x4s. These are these pallets that you can save or buy, right?
We just found these in an industrial part of town and they're free. We just washed them with a little bit of gray paint to make them age a little bit. We supported them with some 2x4s. And now we have all these great things to just kind of add to it.
So skulls and bones.
Yeah.
Now these are artificial, of course. But they do move. And this is, you're going to shake this while the kids are walking through. And you have to leave some negative space, right? So that so people who are operating all the creepiness
So
are
we have
hidden from view.
We have a generous amount of space for people to kind of get in and spook people.
We also added a shingled floor, clinging cobwebs, old chains, even a bat trap. It does feel like cobwebs and the instability of a shingle littered path and the narrowness of the walls. All of that contributes to the horror of the place. Ooh, and a bony hand touching me, and yeah, it's very frightening. And can you imagine this in the dark? So now for the mysterious Mineshaft. This is another really creepy place. And what did you use for the covering?
This is just black craft paper that we crumpled up and 2x4s. It's really...
Oh, it's just craft paper.
It's just craft paper. We just rip off a piece, crumple it up, uncrumple it, and then we just staple gun it to the outside.
This looks like coal.
Yeah, it looks like a dirty mine shaft.
Now, the lights are fluorescent?
These are little black light fluorescent lights that we attach to work lights and zip tie them in. Then we have all these nice things to work against it. To give it a speckly granite look, we diluted a little bit of the glow-in-the-dark paint, and then we sprayed it in here.
The fluorescent spray will just brighten up this mine shaft surface.
We've got these great glow-in-the-dark bugs. To freak out the children a little bit more, we have these pipe covers. They were just gluing down low to hit their legs. And finally, the piece of resistance in here is Dr. Figgy's special recipe.
So this is that mysterious stuff that just drips of its own accord.
Yeah. After a group of kids, you can just scoop a little bit up and restock it, and it'll
How do
just
you
keep
like
going
that?
and going.
Lots of fun. Well, now that the infrastructure in the back of the garage is done, it's time to start building the structure in the front of the garage. But isn't it great just to take a space like this and transform it so fantastically? And remember, this can be a community effort. It can be your street effort. You can have a contest in your neighborhood, which street has the best haunted house. So I think all of this is a lot of fun.
This is always a fun thing to have in the lab.
So great.
Martha, you're scaring me.
So kids, into the haunted house. Please come out alive.